yeah, there's a lot of questions about this money because there's a lot of need out there for our citizens.
For the past several months, Native American tribes have been spending the $8.8 billion they received in CARES Act funding from the first stimulus package. But over the past few weeks, tribes have faced questions from their members about how the money is being spent. Questions began circulating over social media, and the tribes say those questions have escalated and added to the misinformation. In tonight's series, Native America, The Road to Recovery, Tony Russell talks with the Cherokee Nation about mistakes it made and what the tribe is doing to help more citizens who are in need because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Ariel Jackson is a Cherokee Nation citizen who is also the mother of 6 and the sole provider for her family. She says after she lost her job several months ago due to the COVID-19 pandemic, she turned to her tribe for help.
It would help make a house payment. It would help keep our electric on. It would help keep the heat in the house.
Jackson is talking about a portion of federal CARES Act dollars that the Cherokee Nation made available in its General Assistance Program. But Jackson says she didn't know about it until it was too late.
Because I had told him I want to be put on the COVID relief list. And he told me that the program had already ended. I asked him why the public was not informed of this program. His response was, if you came in and applied for assistance, then you were told about it.
Cherokee Nation Council member Wes Nofire says he's heard from many of his constituents frustrated that they didn't know about the assistance available for individuals who qualified.
There has been a lot of citizens from my district call, and obviously on social media you see about there was money that had not been made public to them that they could go and get until it was basically expired, and even citizens now are finding out that there was money that could have helped them out in an emergency situation through COVID.
And that's why we're adding $5 million to our General Assistance Program for our citizens who are in dire economic straits.
But the Cherokee Nation says it did communicate the information on social media and on its website, including in a video of Principal Chief Chuck Hoskin Jr. talking about assistance for elders, as well as an additional $5 million for tribal citizens, regardless of age, who are struggling to make ends meet.
Part of the program was emergency assistance. We already had an emergency assistance program, and we put federal dollars into that program so that we could help more. And we did advertise that in the summer, in June and July, and it's been successful. We've helped probably at this point, I think, over 4,000 Cherokee citizens with individual needs on a case-by-case basis.
The tribe did set a deadline to receive applications for the assistance because the federal government set a deadline to spend the money. But because Congress has now extended the deadline, the nation will still consider applications.
Austin. Here. Joe Berg.
In fact, at a council meeting earlier this week, Cherokee Nation Chief of Staff Todd Enlow apologized for the miscommunication and said Human Services will be contacting about 1,500 people that either called in, emailed, or stopped by asking for assistance.
What our plan is to retool this program with the remaining funds since we have the extension, and allowing those that have not applied for it before the opportunity to seek that assistance.
Applications for the Human Services Emergency Assistance Program will be available by the end of January. Tribes say they're under strict guidelines set by the U.S. Treasury with how to use the CARES Act dollars appropriated to them. Nofire says while the council approved the budget, he wants a greater accounting of the money and believes more of it should have been spent on individuals.
We have to approve every bit of money that gets spent. But what happened was we voted on a one-page budget modification, which was just giving the treasurer of the Cherokee Nation the money to spend on COVID-related issues.
The Chief of Staff says a report on where the CARES Act dollars will be spent will be available by the end of the month. Chief Hoskin Jr. says it was important to use the money to also keep the government and Cherokee Nation businesses operating by investing some of the reported $500 million on capital projects, which include a PPE manufacturing plant and food distribution facilities. Hoskin says moving forward, they'll do a better job of communicating about the assistance.
We can always improve communication, and the fact that people right now say they didn't know about it, that's all I need to know that we need to do better, and we will do better.
Something Jackson says is needed.
I want them to bring the program back and actually give the people a chance to apply for this.
Even as we completed our interviews for this story, we learned that 2 tribal counselors were spending the evening helping distribute gift cards and food to their constituents in the Stillwell area. Several counselors say they want to see a more uniform system of distribution of the money, something the chief's office says they are committed to doing. In Tahlequah, covering Native America, the road to recovery. I'm Tony Russell, 2 Works for You.
Tribal citizens who still need assistance can visit Cherokee.org or call 918-453-5000 and ask for human services. You can also check the Cherokee Nation Facebook page. Applications will be available on or before January 25th.